What's good, homies? So, basically, I've been figuring out content, and one of the things that I learned today is about Doechie's rollout for her album, Alligator Bites Never Heal, and it's about basically how, well, she's obviously a marketing genius, as we can see, but what she did was she separated her platforms into like 3 different, like, well, however many different styles. So her Instagram is a representation of her aesthetics and what she represents. Her TikTok is like her rawness, and this is like the videos like straight off her phone and whatnot, and like duetting with other fans and whatnot. And then the YouTube is a diary, a digital diary. So this is something that I'm literally going to go ahead and do, because I've been wanting to explain a lot of things, whether they be thoughts or whether they be things that I've learned like this, or whether they be like tips or advice, that I've learned that I want to share. So this is where it's going to go for a start. And the first video is going to be about how you aren't lazy, you're just finding the right tool or the right way to share your art. Because for me, I'd spent years beating myself up. So basically, a backstory about me: when all my creation really started, getting into hip hop and all of this and that, music and clothes, when I was about 14, 15. Started a clothing brand at 16 and stopped doing it about 19. And between 19 and 20, I'd say 23, or 24, or 23 really. I felt like I'd been stagnant, but I hadn't, because I'd been working on another brand, which is called Goose. And then the start of last year, I went freelance on my own, full time, as a videographer and photographer. And I've been navigating that since, because that's the way that I've seen sort of fit for me and work. And it's been hard, it's been ups and downs, but I've been learning a lot, and I've learned a lot. And I've been making a lot of stuff. I've made a lot of stuff for a lot of great people, and I've made a lot of stuff for myself. And what I'm gradually learning as it's all coming together is I wasn't lazy. I was just needing to find that route, that way that works for me. Like I want to make short films, but I am a bit lazy, like in terms of like I struggle to get up and just film every single day, no matter what the weather. I'm a bit of an emotion. I'm a Pisces. I'm a bit of a wishy-washy guy at times. And if it's cloudy, I'll stay in bed a bit late and this and that. And I've had my vices with alcohol and drugs, but nothing too serious. Drinking's never really been bad. Just smoked a lot of weed for a long time. And now I'm sober. Actually like 7 weeks sober now, as it stands. And I'm creating more, and I'm creating more with less. And it's a hard thing to say more with less, but that's what creating something good is. That's the pursuit of like creating something great, is telling a story. And the story is going to be sort of complex, however complex it is, in the most direct way possible, because it's all about communication and how your message lands to, the viewer, you watching, hopefully, thank you. That's like a hard thing to do. There's bands and artists that have a really great message or a really important message, but it's not communicating to the audience, so it's not landing. And there's other artists, for a contrast, that don't have a very important message. It could be about whatever else. It doesn't have to be, but you know what I'm saying? But they're really good at communicating that, and they make a living off that or whatever. And that's like great for them, and it's great for, you know what I mean? But it's about that method of getting it through that tunnel to the other side, to go in our ears and to understand, that's the pursuit. And that's what I've been on all this time, ever since I stopped my clothing brand. Because when I did my clothing brand, I was young and I was just making, like, it was very pure, right? It was very pure. It was very much based off my influences at the time, with like Odd Future and like Supreme, Palace and all of that. So it was like a bit of like, but it was my own, you know? And then for years after, when I stopped, just literally due to like I put it down to like mental health, really, because something just came in and I just started doubting everything I was doing, you know? And it took me a long while to build that back up, to believe in myself again, right? And I believe in myself now. And what I found out is that you're not just lazy. You just want a convenient path to tell that story. Because the main thing, the thing at the end of the day, I don't know if it's the right word, but the innuendo of it all is you telling your story, because everyone has a story to tell, and we want to know. I want to know about your story, like, I really do. So if you're sitting there in your room right now beating yourself up about how you don't go out and do these things that you see other people and your peers and your influences and your idols do, don't stress too much. Like, it's good that you're stressing about it, because that shows you want to do it, you know? So at least you're thinking about it. But don't give up, you know, and that's what everyone says, and it's so true, because you're just finding your way to do it, and that's that's what you like owe. That's what you're going to owe to the world. Like, that's what you're doing. You're going to find your way, no matter how long it takes, because you got to tip your hat to the pioneers of this that paved the way, right? They just act on pure instinct. Whether this be, in my mind, I got people like David Bowie, you know. You got like all the music in the 50s, like Chuck Berry, paving this way, you know. And that's in terms of music, right? But that's what I'm influenced by. That just like, there's no scripture to it, but what's followed is others doing that path, but in their own way. And then that breeds bands like The Who, The Beatles, Led Zeppelin, like Rolling Stones, for example. You know, all of these early rock and roll stuff. That then, because it all because it comes from music, and like consumerism music and like mainstream music started with the rock and roll and blues, right? Rhythm and blues. So then it all expands from there. And these are all like pathways that have been carved out by like all of these artists from early. And now we got like fucking bands and artists that we love, like hip hop and like techno, you know, dance music and shit. This is all one and another person, like all copying each other and following in those footsteps, and then diverting, finding out this way and finding out that way, right? They're finding out their tool. And so the originators of that are the ones that could very much act on an instinct. And then there's more that follow that, figure it out a bit later on, 21, 22. And then some more figured out at whatever age. Age doesn't matter, is the point I'm getting at. Because if you're sitting there thinking about it and sort of worrying about it, then keep thinking about it. Keep finding that vehicle for you to get there, because you will find it and you will figure it out, and you'll find that you're not lazy. You'll find that you are in fact very motivated and you have a very strong work ethic. You just have to find that vehicle, you know, that through road, that little shuttle that tells your story, whatever the story may be. Fictional or non-fictional, do you know what I mean? I made a couple notes here so that I'm not just going to go off the course, because it's convenience is the main thing. In fact, I've said all the points, so that's actually that. I stayed on point. So there you go. So I'm recording this on my phone with a little tripod. I've got a really expensive camera back home, and to film this off that, I'd have to like bring my tripod and set that up, and I'd be worried about it falling in the river behind me and stuff. So I haven't bought it. It's the convenience. I'm on my bike, I've got my bag here, and I've got my film camera because that's what I like to do. You know, I've never liked holding things. For other people, they don't mind. For other people, that like having all this gear is like not an issue. And going out to film a film with all this gear is just great for them. And that's awesome. Really awesome, because then they're giving us stuff that we see, like me, that I see, and I'm influenced by, oh man, I want to make that film. And I will make that film, but I'll do it in my own way, because I've found my vehicle, whether that be filming things like this on my phone where it's almost about to fall over, and then I'll go ahead and film like a short film with all of my gear, and then that'll be like, you know what I mean? I found like what avenue works for me, and so I'm trialing it out, because it's all about trial and error. Don't be afraid to fail, don't be afraid to make mistakes. It's been said 100,000 times. If this is what you're into, this is what you follow, and it's true. Just don't give up, and you will find the way for you. Alright, so big love to you all, and I'm probably going to do a lot of rambling on this YouTube channel now for a bit, just to kind of air things out, and then I'll start hopefully, kind of formulating like real solid ideas. But at the end of the day, I just want to share things to help other people, because I just remember the amount of content that I consumed from other people that helped me to just keep on that and keep learning, There's a lot of shit out there, but there's a lot of great stuff out there. So don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Keep working hard. Keep trying. I believe in you. Let's go.